Is this thing on? Hello, and welcome to Higa's Playbook, the show that talks about sports, dating, and all things life as a Seattle girl living in the Bay. I am your host, Alex Higa, and today we will be recapping Week 8, the Seattle Seahawks versus the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about what went well, what didn't go so well, standout players, and what to expect in Week 9. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, we're going to talk about the throwback jerseys. The Seahawks looked so good out there. I'm a huge fan of the throwback. I love the silver helmet. Even the field itself looked so good. Brought me back to Kingdom days. It brought me back to just, I don't know, it was very nostalgic, I guess, in a sense. But I hope that we keep wearing these jerseys because I honestly like them better than the lime green jerseys. But this Kelly green and blue color is chef's kiss. Okay, let's get into it. I think this has been a trend for the Seahawks this whole season. The first quarter, we started off going really well. We started off scoring. We started off looking so good. And then I just don't know what happens in the second and third quarter. Okay, so First quarter, we start off looking real good. We're converting our third downs. Lockett is clutch. Our defense is clutch. We come in, we score. Lockett scores the first touchdown. And then Bobo comes in and scores another touchdown. So we're up 14-0 in the first quarter. We're looking so good. We're feeling good. I feel like the fans at the bar that I was at, shout out to Danny Coyles. We found a Seahawks bar in the Bay finally. Everybody felt so good. Our defense looked good. Brooks had a forced fumble and Mafe had the recovery. Lockett again had so many great receptions. And then we have JSN with a huge reception. So a lot of our receivers were catching the ball. And Gino looked good. He looked confident. And we just always look good in the first quarter. Our defense, we had a ton of pressure on the Browns quarterback, which is Walker. We had a lot of pressure on him, but he was finding a lot of receivers. So I don't know if our pressure was becoming in too slow. I don't know if our pressure needs to be a little bit quicker, but we had a lot of pressure on him, but he was still finding open players on the field. So they ended up scoring. So then at the end of the first quarter, it ended up being 17-7. Quarter two, my blood pressure started to rise. Not good. This is when we started getting penalties with our defense. It cost us a lot of yards, a lot of time for the Browns to have possession of the ball. Charbonnet had a really good run. DK was starting to get into the mix again, but it still was not looking good. And then Gino had a pick with 22 seconds left in the half. So then we ended up going into the second half, 17-4. Third quarter, my blood pressure is still up. Okay. Third quarter, oh my gosh, our defense could not stop the run. I don't know what it was. Our defense couldn't stop the run. Again, our defense was putting pressure on the quarterback, but he was still finding open men down the field. We were actually able to hold them to a field goal. So then the score is 17-17. We're tied. Never good to be tied. Gino was picked off again. So we're having a lot of interceptions, which is creating a lot of opportunities for the Browns. So we need to work on, I don't know if it's our route running. I don't know if we're just a little bit late in our timing, but timing just wasn't there as far as the offense for the receivers in the third quarter. But thankfully, we held the Browns to another field goal. So then now they're only up by 3. So now it's 17-20. Browns are up, and then the start of the fourth quarter. If you're wondering where my blood pressure is at this point, it's still high. And normally I have a really good blood pressure, and I was just checking my pulse the entire game, and it was not good. The Browns are charging down the field. I just don't know what's going on. I know that we're still putting pressure on the ball, but we're just too late. I just don't know. I think there's something with our timing just needs to change up with that. Woof! Everybody was just open. I was very confused. We were hitting hard, but we were hitting late. So timing, again, we need to figure that out. But then once we got the ball, we were finally moving down the field. Charbonnet had a lot of good runs. I keep calling him Chardonnay. I don't know if it's because I like wine, but Charbonnet was finally having great bursts down the field, converting our thirds to first down. So we were actually doing pretty good at converting our thirds to first, okay? We're down by 3, and we just need to score, right? The Browns have the ball again. We're freaking out at the bar. We just need something to happen. And then this happens. Somehow, Jamal Adams, he deflects the ball, but not with his hand, with his helmet. So it's almost like we're playing soccer and he like jumps up, and he headbutts the ball. The ball goes flying up and it ends up in the hands of Julian Love. So we get the ball back with less than 2 minutes left. We needed that so much because then we ended up getting the ball down, going down to the red zone. And what do? What did I talk about last time? We need to convert our red zone opportunities. And what did we do? We converted it. So JSN got a reception and he ran it down for a touchdown. There was only 38 seconds left. Our defense sealed the deal. Taylor got a sack to create 4th and 19. And then we won the game. Whew. It was a wild victory to say the least. Should it have been that close? I don't think so, but it was. Some stats that we want to go over. Gino was 23 for 37. He had 2 interceptions, which I think we need to figure that out. But I think overall, Gino looked really good. He was connecting with his receivers. He looked confident on the field. I think one thing that I would say to Gino, look good, feel good. So I think one thing that I want to touch on too, when I was looking at the stats of all the players, everybody's averages, especially for our receivers, was over 10 yards of reception. All right, Walker had 8 carries for 66 yards, averaging 8.2 yards a carry, which is great. Charbonnet, 5 carries for 53 yards, over 10.6 yards per carry. Lockett, 8 receptions, 81 yards. 10 yards, averaging 1 touchdown. DK was finally in the mix again, 5 receptions, 67 yards, averaging 13.4. So all of our receivers were averaging over 10 yards per reception, which is amazing. We need to keep that up, keep this pace going, and a lot of people are getting in the mix, which I think helps out a lot too. Our defense had 3 sacks, which was amazing, and also 2 interceptions. So shout out to the defense. Keep it going. Keep that energy. Speaking of defense, so we just picked up a new DN before the trade deadline. I don't know if it's finalized yet as I'm recording this, but Leonard Williams, we picked him up from the Giants. This is what Pete Carroll said about him. He's an all-around player, versatile, run, pass, can rush the passer, cause issue problems for your opponent. He's a terrific kid. He's a leader, and he's a competitor. And just like somebody we would like to have on our team. I think he played for SC, so that's why Pete has kind of had him on the radar. But welcome, Leonard. Please kill it on defense. We're looking forward to having you. Another pickup that we just got was Frank Clark. He used to be on our team. He went to Kansas City for a while, but now he's back. So welcome back, Frank Clark. We're happy to have you. And I know that you already in this last game, you made a huge difference and a huge impact on the energy and just the overall appearance of our defense. So thank you for coming back. Some crazy NFL games that just happened. The Broncos just beat the Chiefs, which I think was the first time in like 8 years. Russell Wilson finally pulled it off. And the Niners lost their 3rd game in a row. They lost to the Bengals, to Joe Burrow. Like, he actually looked super good. Joe Burrow, he looked really good. So the Niners have a bye week, which I think will be good for them. Or I don't know if it'll be good for them. So we'll see. We see them in a few weeks on Thanksgiving Day. This week we have the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. So we're traveling to the East Coast. And the Ravens are 6-2, and they're coming off a 3-game win streak. Lamar Jackson is somebody that we need to stop. So I think one thing that the Seahawks have been doing is only playing the first quarter and like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. In order for us to really pull off this win, we need to play all 4 quarters. We need to be in the game for all 4 quarters if we want to pull this one off, because the Ravens are going to come off looking strong, and they got, I don't know, they have Lamar Jackson. That's all I need to say. So some of the betting lines, if you're a bettor, is that how you call them? If you like to bet, some of the lines that are here, the Ravens are favored to win by 5.5. And the over-under is about 43. Let's prove Vegas wrong, and let's get out there. Again, playing all 4 quarters is what we need to do. I think game day fits have been a huge thing lately in all sports. And so I've been watching the Seahawks. I know it was a throwback jersey day, and I just want to give the best dressed award to Witherspoon. He came out rocking a Gary Payton jersey. Pretty sure it was from the store Simply Seattle, which is one of my favorite stores to get all my Seattle gear from. So shout out to Witherspoon. I'm gonna hand you that best dressed award. I can't wait to see what y'all come through with next week. All right, everybody, we found a Seahawks bar in San Francisco. Shout out to Danny Coyles. I know I said that earlier, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm pretty sure I will be back there again. All right, that was our recap for week 8. You're listening to Higa's Playbook. Catch y'all next week. Mwah, love ya. Bye.